Hello everyone. In this class, we are going to look at very interesting topic, that is domestic and wild animals. Here very beautiful picture of a parrot is given. It's really wonderful, right? Okay. Dear children, some of you have know that animals can be grouped into two groups. That is one domestic animals and another category wild animals. Let us have more information about this in this class. So let us look the first category of animals, that is domestic animals. Domestic animals are those animals that are used to living at home. The word domesticated means trained to live with or work for humans. Example, home pets or farm animals. So one beautiful picture of a dog is given, man's best friend. It looks very majestic, right? So domestication of animals means to keep animals at home, to live in close contact with human beings. For example, a pet or a work animal. So domesticated animals develop a kind of dependence on humans. Such animals slowly lost their ability to live in the wild. So they become more dependent on humans. So they eventually lost their ability to live independently in the wild. So cat is one of the cute pet animals. You really feel to cuddle it, right? So one cuddly cat is given there. Wow, very beautiful. When humans started farming, he needed a lot of help which humans can't do. So he began to domesticate the animals. Most of the domestic animals we know were domesticated around the time people began farming and living in permanent houses. This happened between 8000 and 2500 BC, very long ago, right? So here is a picture of goat. So here in this slide, we are provided with domestication timeline. Let us have a glance on it. 15,000 years ago, dogs were domesticated near Asia and possibly elsewhere. So dogs are the first animals which human domesticated at the very beginning. Then, around 10,000 years ago, sheep were domesticated. Possibly in the Middle East area. And then 8,000 years ago, pigs and cattle, they were domesticated in the area Middle East and possibly China. And then around 6,000 years ago, horses in Central Asia were domesticated. And around 4,500 years ago, llamas in Peru were domesticated. So these are the domestication timeline. Very interesting information for you. Dear children, let us now look at some of the domestic animals and why they are domesticated. So sheep, very cute animal, sheep. It is domesticated for wool. And goats, they are domesticated for milk and meat. Buffalo, these animals, buffalo, are domesticated for plowing fields and pulling carts. And these animals are domesticated too. That is, geese, the birds, geese, for eggs, meat, and feathers, and poultry, chicken, for meat and eggs, and horses, they are also domesticated for pulling carts, for leather, and as show horses. In olden days, people used to show their horses as a symbol of pride and wealth. And more domesticated animals are given here. Pigs, they are domesticated mainly for their meat. And the very popular pet, that is dogs, they are domesticated for guarding our home and for safety. And one of the cutest pets, that is cats, they are domesticated mainly to catch the mice. Okay, children, now let us see the next group, that is wild animals. Our national animal is here, the tiger. Wild animals. Wild animals live freely in nature. They are not cared for or provided shelter by humans. These animals are get their own food and water. They roam around in the wild, either in packs or alone. Here, three new words are introduced and they are marked in red color. Let us understand the word by learning its meaning. The first one is shelter, which means a home, a place of living. And second one, roam, which means move around. And the third new word is packs. Packs means in a group. Groups are called packs. Children, now we have a quick quiz. Here is the list of animals. You should read it carefully and then divide them as domestic animals and wild animals. I will read the list for you. Fox, elephant, lion, tiger, ox, cow, dog, sheep, buffalo, cow, goat, giraffe. So you have to list these animals into domestic animals and wild animals. So your time starts now. Okay, children, I think you have finished. So let us check the answers now. So domestic animals are dog, ox, sheep, buffalo, cow, goat. So these are the domestic animals. And wild animals, fox, elephant, lion, tiger, bear, giraffe. These are the wild animals. So all of you have got the right answers. So good work, children. Keep it up. So one more activity for you, children. So now you have to think. You have to think with a partner about the following questions and answer in bullet points in the two columns in your notebooks. Why should animals be domesticated? Give 4 reasons. So first question is for you. Why should animals be domesticated? You should give 4 reasons. And the second question is, why should animals be left in the wild? And for this question also you have to give 4 reasons. So think about this for a minute, then discuss with your partner and write down your answers as bullet points. Okay, like we should domesticate animals because, then you have to list your points 1, 2, 3 and 4. In the same way, we should allow animals to remain in the wild because, then you have to again list out 4 points 1, 2, 3 and 4. So your time starts now. Think with your partner and write down the points in your notebook. Okay, children, I think you have finished the activity now. So now let us extend the activity by adding couple of questions. Are you ready, children? Yeah, here is a interesting questions for you. The first question I'm adding is, how are domestic and wild animals the same? The first question is, how are domestic and wild animals the same? So now you have to list out 5 points. 5 points on this question. And the next one is, in what ways are domestic animals and wild animals different? The second question, in what ways are domestic animals and wild animals different? For this question also you should list out 4 points. Now in your group you have to discuss about these 2 questions and list out your points or your views on these questions. So there are 2 questions are there for you. So the first question brings similarities between wild animals and the domestic animals, that is here, how are domestic and wild animals are the same. So this question brings the similarities between the wild and domestic animals. Here you are comparing it. And in this second question, it brings forth the contrast among the domestic and wild animals, how they are different. So children, we have learned that both domestic animals and wild animals are special in their own ways. It does not matter what category animals belong to. One thing we know is to show them respect. The earth belongs as much to them as to us. A beautiful photograph of our friend orangutan is given here. Yeah, he looks very beautiful. So children, with this I conclude this lesson. Thank you children. Bye.